All right, now we're going to look at some problems from section 8.3 in our textbook, specifically looking at geometric series. So adding up the terms in a geometric sequence or in a finite one. So remember our sum formula equals the first term times the quantity 1 minus r, our common ratio raised to the n, over 1 minus r. So here, looking at our first example, n is 6, r is 5. That's what we're multiplying by, and the first term is 5 halves. Right, if I plug in 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, 5 to the 0 is 1, we would get 5 halves. So s sub 6, 5 halves, 1 minus 5 raised to the 6th over 1 minus 5. All right, so clearly we're going to use our graphing calculators or some calculator here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. 2.5, that's our 5 halves, times, now in parentheses, I will have 1 minus 5 raised to the 6th, close parentheses, divided by 1 minus 5. And there's our sum, 9,765. Okay, the next problem, find the sum of the first 10 terms. So they're giving us first 4 terms of the sequence. So we need to figure out the r. So when I look from 20 to negative 10 to negative 10 to 5, I can see that r is negative 1/2. So our sum, s sub 10, our first term is 20, 1 minus, now we got to be a little careful here because our r is negative, negative 1/2 to the 6th divided by 1 minus negative 1/2. Okay, so using our calculator again, 20 times, in our numerator, 1 minus, now this one's not going to be as big a deal if we didn't do the sign correctly, because negative to an even power will still be a positive number, divided by 1 minus, and again I like to use the parentheses, negative 0.5, close the parentheses, and we see that that sum is 13.125. So as again we're adding up, so it may seem a little strange that 13 is less than our first term, right? But notice like we're adding a negative, then a positive, then a negative, then a positive, and so on. So again, that sum, the first 10 terms, oh, I wrote 6. That's a problem. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. I did that from the last problem. So we're not doing 6 terms, we're doing 10. All right, so here's a nice little trick. This actually kind of leads me to show you something that if you're not familiar with. So this whole string I want to do again, except I want that 6 to become a 10. So notice I hit second and enter, and notice how that whole string comes back up again, the previous one. So I arrowed up and I want to do a 10. So I do a 1 that replaces. Now I want to insert, because if I do a 0 here, it's going to go over the close parentheses. So I want to insert. So here is our insert. So it's blue. So I'm going to hit second, insert. Now I can put a 0. Now when I hit enter, changes the number a little bit, 13.320 to our third decimal place. Okay, so there's a couple of problems. Hope that helps you with our geometric series.